This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Excuse me, I had to back away from the mic for a subtle burp.
Wow, subtly
Professional.
done. It's good that you
professional.
didn't.
Did I just say professional?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's very professional. How are you doing this week, Tom?
I'm doing good. Did you answer when I asked you how you were doing?
No, because you interrupted me and to burp.
Yeah.
And backed away from the microphone, so you didn't.
Yeah,
interrupt me.
So I
but
didn't
then,
interrupt
yeah,
and
then,
grind the show to a halt right
Yeah.
in the beginning of it.
I was gonna say, Tom, I'm oddly a little dizzy. I'm not sure what that's about.
Like within the last few minutes? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you might be having some kind of medical emergency.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
The episode you just heard like a microphone get hit and then the episode ended.
I like the idea that like if I dropped dead in the first 3 minutes of the
Still
show,
got to put an episode
yeah, you'd
out.
still be like, all right, gotta upload this.
Yeah. Got a squeezed a few more minutes out, old Tim.
I'll still make the title Costco because that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. And just a 90-second long file that ends with the sound of a body hitting the floor.
A subtle burp and then a quiet death. That's how a Complete Guide to Everything goes out.
Yeah. I'm good. How are you? Oh, you already said
Yeah,
you're
the dizzy
dizzy.
thing. Yeah.
Have you heard about this thing online, Tim? People want to know who can win in a fight. 100 men or one gorilla.
Yeah.
You've heard about this.
I've heard about it.
This is the new, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Yeah. None of this I like.
Fighting?
I just don't like the answer to either of these. I don't know. I don't know about
Well, but don't you think it's like fun to think about, fun to speculate?
No.
No?
Do you?
Well, what do you think would happen? Who do you think would win?
100 men or a gorilla?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know how strong a gorilla is.
Oh, Tim,
and now
they're
you're gonna yell
so
at me.
strong.
Okay, so then the gorilla wins.
Well, but there's only one of them. Here's what it comes down to.
Ugh.
It's how brave the men are and how committed they are to dying for the cause. That's what it is.
No, it's about coordination and organization.
Well, but that's what it requires.
Right.
It requires...
So people need to sacrifice themselves.
Not necessarily willingly, but everybody needs, it's like when you watch like Saving Private Ryan and they're on the way to the beaches at Normandy. And it's like, not all of you are going to be going home today.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah. What?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I want to.
I thought you were calling me out like, they don't storm the beach in Normandy, you
No,
idiot.
I wasn't going to call you out on that, but I wasn't sure that it like went down like that with the speech, like you said.
Maybe not in that movie, but you know what I'm talking about. Like in war movies, they do that. Not all of you are going to be coming home, sons.
Yeah.
Boys.
He calls them all sons. Yeah, all the platoons were actually the commander's sons.
Yeah,
that was
just
a little known fact about World War II.
Dads with lots of kids, lots of sons.
Families were bigger back then.
Yeah.
They had to be because a lot of them would die in war.
Yeah. Well, and who knows what might happen? We might devolve into a case where we have to worry about how many men it will take to take down a gorilla.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes, knowing like there's going to be sacrifices. There's no way 100 of us are getting out of here. There's no way the gorilla's not going to tear a few of us apart at least.
Well, what if you have a really good plan?
Like what? That's what I'm saying. Then come up with a
You've drawn
plan.
me in, and I refuse. Okay, but like, here's what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably,
yeah,
the men. It's men, not men and women.
It's men.
Okay,
like
sexist, but go on.
Well, I think it's basically like a strong, like fit men, like athletic men, not just like take a random 100 people.
Beefcakes.
Yeah, take 100 beefcakes and put them up against a gorilla.
Now we're talking. Okay. presumably they don't get any
And shave the gorilla, but let the men grow their hair out.
presumably they don't get any tools, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's the
no,
thing.
barehanded. You mean the gorilla or the men?
Either one.
Yeah.
I think it should be like
Gorillas aren't very good at using tools, so that would be an unfair advantage.
What are like the what do they do in wrestling where like on top of a ladder there's like a knife or something? Like
yeah, sometimes
can there be
they'll
like
do,
a gun in a tree?
I think usually it's the belt is up at top of the ladder, not a knife.
to stab your opponent with.
No, none of that. I'm saying just,
Okay, but no, this is my question.
Okay.
And like I'm going to ask you not to be perverted about this, Tom.
Oh boy. Well,
Tall order, I know.
no, I'm saying what are you going to ask me that you have to?
Okay, so presumably so they're not going to have any tools, weapons,
No.
etc.
Yeah.
Will they be wearing clothes?
I imagine they're all in wrestling singlets.
Because you can, like, those can be used in a way like
It's not allowed.
okay, who's the referee here?
There's a human and a gorilla overseeing
Okay.
everything, so it's fair.
Because like I could see you use the singlet and like if you can
Choke it with or put it over its face. Or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot to do. So like I'm assuming nude
Maybe.
men
Yeah.
versus a gorilla. 100 nude beefcakes
Yeah.
versus one
Yeah, but here's the thing.
unclothed gorilla.
Tim, you put 100 nude men against a gorilla. That gorilla's just going to go on a frenzy ripping their genitals off.
I know, but like that's
that
part
that
of it.
gorilla's eyes are going to light up. It's going to be like, I know how to beat this fight. Whack, 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 whack. Pop, 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 pop. Yanking everything
Well,
off.
presumably, gorilla knows that there's genitals under the singlets.
I don't know if they do. How would they?
I don't know. They're not dumb.
I don't think most gorillas have not seen a naked human. I don't think.
Well, this is why, like, I can't just make this call with no. I have to get to know the gorilla. I need to get to know the men.
Well, let me also say, like, I think even if all right, like, let's say hypothetically, he could also make rules that the gorilla has to follow.
Right.
If you told the gorilla, like, you can't rip their genitals off.
No, this is too much. Then we're like, what are we even doing here?
Here, you didn't let me finish my thought. That wasn't just a rule. I wasn't just suggesting we get some gorillas that understand a few rules.
This isn't. You're not talking about Coco, are you?
No. Coco's dead. I think so, right?
Yeah, like recently, I think.
Yeah, and by recently you mean probably like 10 years ago?
No.
But
like,
you think
no,
it's recent?
very recently.
Within the...
2018, 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
You said 10 years ago.
Yeah, round up, it's called.
It's called rounding up every year of it. And like, if we're rounding...
If
we're rounding to the
years,
nearest 5, then it's actually 5. So
yeah,
I'm
but
right.
we're not rounding to the nearest 5. We're rounding up.
So it's either 10 or 0? Coco either died today or Coco died
I'm just saying, I think my exaggerated, like, oh, do you think it was recent and it was actually 10 years ago and it was 7 is not too far off.
That's fair.
I feel like my joke has still been made.
I still don't think, like, I don't know. It depends. There's all sorts of men. There's all sorts of gorillas. We can't dwell on this stuff.
I didn't finish my thought about even if
I
you
didn't
could
want you to finish.
even if you could give the gorilla rules. All right, no ripping off wieners, or nuts.
Okay.
But
Right.
everything else is fair game. The gorilla's gonna go like, oh, okay, cool. I'll rip their noses and arms off and beat them with that.
Right.
Like, I don't think you'd be in much better shape. You wouldn't. If you had a gorilla ripped your arm off, you wouldn't be like, whew, thank God he didn't pull up my nuts.
Right. Well, you know.
Would you rather have a gorilla rip off your nuts or rip off your arm?
Arm, I think.
Yeah?
Which arm?
Which
My dominant or...
gorilla's choice.
I don't know then.
But he doesn't know either. So you know, you don't have to worry about, like, if it's a mean gorilla,
Yeah.
he knows I'm a lefty.
Yeah, but if it's a nice gorilla,
yeah,
like, I'm gonna do you a favor here.
yeah. Which arm do you use the least?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of it.
Anyway,
for you.
I'm fundamentally against having these types of discussions.
What if like we get taken over by aliens and they're like, this is the entertainment. We came all these light years and
I guess we'll see who wins in that case.
TV show.
Yeah, if that happens,
yeah,
I'll tune in.
9 out of 10 cases, it's gonna be the gorilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, they're gonna run this multiple times.
Yeah, it's a season. They're gonna have like probably each episode they'll have like a few different fights, and maybe they will mix it up. Maybe there will be like for the second fight tonight we got a gorilla that can follow rules.
That sounds like a lot of fun, Tom.
And we've told it
what they should do.
You can't rip genitals off, and it's promised to abide by those rules.
No, if the gorilla just runs, the table on these beefcakes.
Mm-hmm. Which he will, especially if they hesitate.
Right. So I think what the aliens need to do for the next bout, it's like, all right, it's 150 beefcakes now. Like, you gotta we gotta find same gorilla.
Same,
and we find out. Really? We find out this gorilla's threshold.
Yeah.
This gorilla's beefcake threshold.
Now, if the men win. Do you do like 2 gorillas versus 100 men?
Guess so.
Or you just reduce the number of men? All right, 75 men versus a gorilla.
But the thing is, presumably some of those men will have died in gorilla battle, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's like we're in a situation where aliens have taken over the planet and they've rounded up all the beefcakes. They've got just a stable,
I know, but
stable of beefcakes waiting.
But like if
it's like the Roman Colosseum,
the men win if the gorilla dies, right?
Yeah,
the gorilla wins if all 100
men win
die.
if they kill the gorilla, not just if the gorilla dies.
The gorilla shows up feeling a little dizzy to the to the big gorilla fight.
Yeah, the gorilla has some kind of medical emergency that doesn't count.
No, but what I'm saying is like there could be one man standing,
and the men win.
If the gorilla is dead, like the men have won. So like it's not a binary. What I'm saying, right? Like where if the gorilla wins. He's
beaten 100 men.
It's one beat 100. Like he won 100-0, right? But if the men win, it could be like, we won 60-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what makes it interesting. That's why you can run it over and over again.
Yeah, man, we gotta get that started.
Yeah. Now, do you think you could beat off 100 men? Tim, this is another episode, one of these rip from the headlines episodes.
What, about a store that's been around for 41 years?
Yeah, but guess what? I went there today.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
that's quite a headline, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you're not even going to see that headline until tomorrow morning.
No,
paper.
I saw the newsboy outside. Yeah. Extra.
Yeah.
Local buffoon goes to big box store.
Is that considered a big box?
No,
there were a lot of big boxes in there.
Oh, it's a big box warehouse club.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let me explain what this place is for people maybe outside.
Costco is a store.
For people outside the U.S. that aren't as familiar with this. They're not the only one. There's also BJ's, and I forget what else.
Sam's Club. Sam's Club is
the Walmart version. Yeah. But it's basically these warehouses that sell stuff in bulk, big bulk items.
Right. And like over the years they've evolved. They're not like, it used to be when I went to Price Club as a kid, it was like, I don't think we should be in here. It feels dangerous. Like there's too many forklifts.
Yeah. It was like, this is an operating warehouse. Yeah, I remember going to Price Club as a kid too, and it was because the business my mom worked for had like a membership.
Yeah.
I think it used to be like a lot stricter. That was like you had to have a business to have a membership at. I think they even Price Club probably changed that at some point, but
Yeah.
I feel like that was the way it started.
But the thing about Costco is it's you have to join a club.
You have to join a club.
You have to buy a membership. You can't just show up and go shopping. You can show up and browse all you want.
No, you can't show up and browse. You're not allowed in.
Really?
Yeah, Tim. Boy, the good thing I went there today.
I mean, I'm a member.
Have you ever been there?
No. I'll get around to it. I'm no longer a member, Tom.
Oh, okay.
I've renounced my membership.
Wow. Well,
to Costco.
That's rare, which we'll get into. No, at the door you have to scan your card. Now
it wasn't always that way, Tom.
Maybe not. I think you're wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't always that way.
I'm pretty sure it was always that way.
Based on what?
Based on, like, remembering another time I went to Costco, like, 20 years ago.
With who?
With a member.
Who?
I don't remember who.
Okay, so you know the whole process, but you don't know who the member was with you?
I forget who the person I was with was, but I remember.
So you were not a member yourself?
No, you're allowed to bring a guest.
Right. So who was the member, Tom?
I don't remember.
So, but you remember the check-in process, but you don't remember who you were checking in with? That seems very suspect to me, Tom.
No, it doesn't seem that suspect, because I've been to places with lots of different people, but I had only been to Costco, I think, one time before this time.
Yeah, and you don't remember who that was with?
No, I don't remember.
That seems very suspect, Tom.
I could narrow it down. I'm not going to do that on the podcast.
All right, well, I think this is... like the time.
Why would they let people in if you're not allowed to buy anything unless you have a membership?
Because you go, you're enticed by it. You're like, oh my God, look at all this cool stuff. And look at these fabulous prices. All right, I'm going. And you could sign up at the checkout counter. Like, they won't let you check out or buy anything.
You have to sign up at the member counter. You can't sign up at the checkout.
I think you could at the time. At some point. Tom, for a guy who had never been there.
For a guy that lies about saying that he's a member and then spouts all this nonsense when he hasn't been there in years.
But what I'm talking about is years ago, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
I mean, at this point, it's lost to the sands of time. We'll never know.
Yeah, just like the phantom person that got you in 2006 to Costco.
It's like I could narrow it down to like 2 or 3 people that I would have think it was, but I don't specifically remember. And I'm sorry if that means that everything else I'm saying is a lie. Tim's not paying attention. He's Googling, did you used to be able to just go in? I was going to tell you, in fairness, you may be right. That may be a change, and it may be because, like, they just...
Then what have we been talking about for the last 10 minutes when you're like, nope, you've always needed to scan in because I was there 20 years ago with a friend you've never heard of.
It was a friend.
Who was it?
Could have been a business associate. Or even a family member.
Okay. All right.
No, and I didn't.
All right.
I said to you, I
Go
don't.
on.
I think it's always been like this, and you're like, you think blah blah blah, and then when I tell you, in fairness, you may be right. You're like, well, why didn't you say? It's fine. You may be right.
You're condescending. I may be crazy, but Tom, it just might be a lunatic you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if it has changed, if that is, hadn't always been the case, because holy hell, this place was mobbed. I can't imagine what it would be like if you could just walk in without having to scan a card first.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing this because, like, right now, Costco is having a moment.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's
Well, you were saying this, and I hadn't really heard this.
Yeah. I mean, this is conjecture that I heard on social media, but, like, I think it was also, like, you know that the, in response to Target,
like eliminating their DEI.
Yeah. there was like an organized boycott.
Yeah.
And so like the graphs that I saw on social media, like, and I know like the Target's stock price or like revenues
Went down.
like went down, and like they showed Costco's in the same time, and it was like going up at the same rate, and Costco also like affirmed their DEI policies in the same time. So like there was an agenda to the narrative there, but assuming those two graphs were correct,
right?
I would like what they were implying was like, yeah, people just left Target to go to Costco.
Yeah, maybe. Well, and I'm sure, that there are people that have done that, but I'm sure there's also a lot of people that have reacted to everything becoming more expensive and going like, because that was kind of what happened with us. Like we had been, I forget what it was, like buying, just like random, stuff at the supermarket, and the prices, everybody knows prices have just been going up and up lately. That there are like certain things that we're like,
thanks Biden. Exactly.
This is Joe Biden's economy, I heard. That there were certain things that, we buy a lot, things like toilet paper or whatever, paper towels, like things that you're just always buying.
Tom, you go through how many rolls of toilet paper a day?
4 or 5 a day, just me.
It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, and they're the mega rolls too. It's not nice.
What kind of toilet paper you have in this household?
We're a Scots family.
Yeah, just like you don't need those perverted bears.
Yeah.
But
well, here's the thing, Tim.
These bears, this whole family of bears, all ages, all they talk about all day is shitting. They're Charmin bears. They're sickos.
Well, and also it's like, look, I get it. I appreciate you having nice, soft toilet paper. But, like, I feel like the really soft toilet paper with, like, the lotions and everything, they don't work as well. Like, you feel like you have to use a lot more of it. It's kind of like, look, you need a little grit, That's how you clean stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, I don't use a silk towel to wipe down the kitchen. No.
I'm not saying use sandpaper, but,
like,
Scott,
it's a little abrasive. It's got to have some surface to it.
I've never used a bidet. I want to become a bidet guy.
Okay.
But I simply can't. My household won't allow it.
Oh, your wife and son won't allow it?
Yeah, I don't even want to think what my 3-year-old would.
Yeah, you can't get something like that with a 3-year-old. Oh, here's, we got a new thing in the bathroom. When you press it, water shoots out. Yeah. Don't press that button, though.
Yeah.
We got something that's maybe the most fun button to press in the house now.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't really understand how a bidet works.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, and all right, we're going to get letters. It's just like, I don't understand how you don't walk out of there soaking wet.
I think sometimes you do. But I think it's like very directed,
Yeah.
It's like a squirt gun, like a water gun, or a super soaker.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, it was something like that kind of stuff that we were like, this is insane. Like every week the price has been going up. Like we should get a Costco membership and start buying certain things in bigger quantities.
It's tough in New York City though. We don't have a big garage to put all your bulk purchases in.
That's the thing. Like we got toilet paper and paper towels, and I think they only really had one size, but that size was like 64 toilet paper rolls.
Wait, you bought that? That's in your home right now?
Yeah. I don't, to my wife's credit, I don't know where it is.
Wow.
So she did a good job.
Is it just like,
away somewhere.
Like random roll? Did she open it up and just stash rolls? And
I don't think so. Because I know when like we came in and came back to the house and started putting stuff away, like everything was away, but the toilet paper and paper towels were still out. And it was just kind of like, I mean, I'm not going to be the one to say it, but I think this is just going to be the way the living room is.
This is just our furniture now. So like.
Yeah, maybe we can reshape this into a chair and make the best of it. So that was like our big impetus to like finally get a Costco membership. But all that stuff's great too. the standing firm with their convictions.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the thing too. Honestly, like even if you're you disagree, in which case I think you're a dickhead. But like, don't you at least like? I feel like if you're the kind of person that's like, this company changed their policy, we won. That it's like, no, the company just does what they are afraid of. Like everything is financial,
Right?
And sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they do things for money, and it winds up not working, which it sounds like maybe was the case with Target. But anyway. But I noticed that everybody who worked there seemed like they were in a great mood. And I was like, this is insane. This is the most stressful situation I've ever been in my life.
They're well compensated, right?
Yeah. They're apparently well compensated and taken care of and stuff. And
yeah. Do you know about Costco's values?
No. Well, I mean, I saw a lot of them. I told you, a lot of things were very cheap. I saw a lot of values.
This is their code of ethics.
Okay.
And this is like a major corporation.
Did I maybe sign this when I signed up for a membership?
This is specific
I would also
to them.
abide by this code of ethics?
All right, so this is the third largest retailer in the world.
Wow.
Is Costco, right? That was a weird.
It's crazy. I never heard about it before today.
Yeah. I mean, it's only appeared in the headlines starting today because of your appearance.
Yeah.
In order to achieve their mission, this is the code of ethics. Number 1, obey the law. Number 2.
It sounds simple, but a lot of companies don't.
I would say probably like for the third largest retailer in the world to be like, first and foremost, cut the shit. We're going to obey the law.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Apple just lost their appeal on their injunction over app fees, which is great because that directly affects us with Patreon. And they're referring to like the North California DA, one of the vice president of finance that they said lied under oath on the stand, and they're like, yeah, this guy, like, we have all the evidence, we're referring this, he should go to jail for criminal contempt, he lied under oath.
Hey, Steve Jobs, that doesn't sound like obeying the law.
I mean, it wasn't Steve Jobs. I mean, it was a different guy altogether.
Well, Steve Jobs didn't even have a license plate on his car, and he parked in the handicap spot.
That's true. Yeah.
Who's obeying the law now?
Yeah. But I mean, that's, to your point, it's like, I don't know if somebody told this guy to lie or he just knew on his own to lie, but somewhere he learned like, oh, it's okay to break the law. When I worked for Apple, people broke the law all the time.
Ooh, like what?
We didn't pass a fire inspection, and for like a new store, and one of the guys from Cupertino went out to he was like, oh, I'll be back. And he came back with an envelope full of cash and showed it to me. He's like, I have to go give this to the fire chief.
Whoa.
Yeah. And he's like, he comes back. He's like, oh, surprise, surprise. We just passed inspection.
Wow. Yeah. Corruption at the highest levels.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the highest levels, but
highest levels of whatever fire department that was. Man, it was the chief.
Well, that man was Steve Jobs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, take care of our members. That's you, Tom. That used to be me.
Yeah.
I don't feel very well taken care of by Costco at the moment. Number 3, take care of our employees.
Okay.
Number 4, respect our suppliers.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple ethics.
Would it kill him to add number 5? Just have fun.
You know what? Let's see. If we do these 4 things throughout our organization, we will achieve our ultimate goal, which is to have fun.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, they got there in the end. I want to talk about, because that kind of brings me to their business model, because I was like looking into this. Because the insane thing is that they make the majority of their money off membership fees.
Right.
Which is only $60 a year for the standard membership.
Right.
However, what I told you about that you're a rare beast, they have 90% retention rate year over year on their memberships.
Tom?
Which is like way higher retention than like anybody else has in any business.
If I lived in any other place in America,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be do they have like different levels of membership?
They do, but I don't think it even really, because I know there is like a business one, and then there is like an executive one.
I'd pay double.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the two Costco's
Mm-hmm.
that I know of in New York in New York City are just always too goddamn crowded, and they're not as like big and fun as the ones that I've been to. And number two, I can't really buy things in bulk because I don't have any space, right? Otherwise, I'd be a proud card-carrying member of Costco. I do all my shopping at Costco.
So I bought a Costco membership online because I thought like, oh, this will save time. Like I'll buy it online, and then it says here you can take it to the store and they'll like activate it and give you a real card and take your picture and all that.
That's fun. I like getting my picture taken.
I got my picture taken today. I can show it to you later.
Hey, cool. That camera didn't steal your soul, did it?
No, I don't think so. Why? Is that a thing with Costco cameras?
No, just all cameras.
Oh.
It's fun to get your picture taken, but sometimes it steals your soul.
I didn't realize that you adopted the Amish way of thinking about cameras. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So we bought the membership online, and it's like, all right, we'll go. Now let's go to the store and activate it. This was a month ago, 2 months ago. Tim, we tried for a half hour to find a place to park, not a close place to park, any place to park,
right?
Including blocks away from the Costco.
And me, I'm thinking, well, just take public transit. Not if you're buying in bulk, you dumb.
No. And there's nothing near there. Like you would have to walk pretty far to a subway or bus stop. Yeah, that's the whole point. Our car was packed. And I don't think we even like did that crazy a shop. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we literally like, and we went during the middle of a weekday figuring like, okay, this is probably like a good time to go. No, couldn't even park after a half hour. It was like, all right, I feel like I'm going to blow my brains out if I try to find parking any longer. Like, let's just cut our losses and go home. And that was the one in Brooklyn. We went to the one in Rego Park today.
Okay.
In Queens. And that one was much better because they have a parking garage. And pay $3 for parking. It's like, yes, this is well worth. I will gladly pay $3 to not have to drive around for a half hour before I give up.
Right. Well, Tom, you beat the system.
Yeah.
It cost you $3, but it's small.
I didn't beat the system. I don't think it's the system. It's just there are too many people trying to go there.
So there are two different for personal memberships, Tom. You can be a Gold Star member. Yeah, that's kind of the base. That's $65 a year.
And now that's not stealing valor? If
no.
I start telling people I'm part of a Gold Star family.
I mean, you can like put it on your resume,
right?
But if asked, you have to elaborate.
I have to, yeah.
Then for double the price, $130 a year,
which you said you were happily willing to pay.
You get the executive membership, and the only difference there is it comes with
you get access to the boardroom.
Yeah, you go in there, you can talk about how you're mad as hell.
Yeah,
but you're not because you're being respected by the company,
right?
So they know a lot of guys aren't going to take advantage of that and go in there and yell that they're mad as hell.
A lot of
executives
at the company are just happy.
Yeah,
they're just happy at home.
Everybody's having fun. No, you get an annual 2% reward.
Okay,
which is like, all right.
So this is clearly aimed at like, hey, do you come here a lot?
Yeah.
Like, do you do major spending here for like a big family or a business or something like that?
Right. And then you also get Costco services discounts, which is additional benefits and discount. But you know what I like about this?
What's that?
I feel like this goes along with their ethics of like, it's not like, oh, you get like a premium shopping experience. Like you get to use an
Yeah,
express
yeah.
lane,
It's
or
not-
like
it's not an
the fast
upsell.
pass at Disney World, where it's like, you in there as a Gold Star member, proud, the proud American Gold Star family,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're watching these rich assholes like cut the line and everything. Like, no, everybody's waiting in the same lines.
Yeah.
Just some people are getting 2%
Yeah,
back.
it's literally like do the math of like, would 2% of your yearly purchases here be more than $60?
And look, they got a
Oh.
calculator.
Look at that. You
With
don't
your
even have
household
to think about
size, your household essentials, and all your budgets, and it'll tell you what the estimated 2%
it.
reward
Bra
would be.
size. Why is that on there?
Well,
Why do they need to know your bra size?
Well,
on
they
that?
want to get an accurate picture of you.
That's what the picture is for the card.
I know they want to be able to fill it out so it can be like 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's one of the other things. Is there's a bunch of perverts.
Right. They have, I think, a Visa card that gives you a free membership.
Right.
And maybe that 2% back. So maybe if like you had a business and you use Costco, it'd make sense to go there.
They don't have like produce and stuff there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
They have a big produce section.
Huh.
Yeah, they have everything.
Wow.
Yeah, because we didn't even honestly go into the produce section because it was like, all right, we don't need to buy produce in bulk. Like that.
Is it all bulk?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like, it was like that will go bad. We
Yeah.
don't need 5 pounds of grapes or whatever.
Do dogs eat grapes? No, dogs can't eat
No,
grapes.
they're toxic to dogs.
Yeah.
Tim. And also the solution to like we're not going to eat that enough isn't we can start feeding it to our 25-pound dog.
Why not?
You can, but it's not going to do.
If they weren't toxic to dogs, I
Yeah,
think
but it's not
dogs
gonna
would
make a
like
big-
grapes.
It's not going to make a big difference, you
I
know.
don't know. You always eat more grapes than you think you're going to eat. And I think that would go for dogs, too, if it didn't kill them.
They cap their markup at 14% for branded items and 15% for Kirkland Signature, which is their
Yeah.
house brand.
You know what? I thought it was cool when like people started wearing like Kirkland merch,
like
but now,
sweatshirts
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
now it's played out. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want, if it like it's apparently nice stuff, like you want to buy it and wear it, that's fine. But like, don't be
You're
like,
not-
oh, look,
nobody's
I'm
like,
I'm dripped out.
Yeah, that's a phrase that I use a lot too.
Tim, you were talking about their customers, how good they are to their customers.
Members, not customers.
Members, executives. Part of that is their return policy. They have one of retail's most flexible return policies.
Now tell me more about this.
Most items are returnable anytime if unsatisfied. And that includes like when I bought the Costco membership online and then we couldn't get into the store, I was like, shit, I guess I'll go look if I can return it. And I looked and it was like, oh, you can return it anytime and they'll give you all your money back, like for any reason.
What if I bought a really big lollipop?
They'll take it back.
Even if I've gotten a few licks in?
Tim, there are stories of people returning used bidets.
Huh.
People-
So I could give it a shot.
People returning dead Christmas trees in January. People returning empty wine bottles.
Okay, if I were a shareholder though, I'd be upset about this stuff. Now there's a difference between respecting your members and being taken advantage of. And I think allowing somebody to take advantage of you shows a lack of respect for both you and that person.
Well, the thing is they do have they do reserve the right to cancel your membership.
Right.
So like if they do think you're abusing that, they will cancel your membership. But I guess it's the kind of thing of like, I don't know, maybe when they look up your membership, it shows how much a person spent. And they're like, yeah, just give this person their $50 back for the tree. They've spent 10 grand over the past few years and haven't returned other stuff. It is a 90-day return window for electronics and major appliances. And there are certain things that are not returnable. Gold bars, silver coins, tickets, digital goods, shop cards, alcohol, and cigarettes.
Imagine going to a store and just being like, picking up some gold bars.
Well,
That's cool.
Yeah. I guess I didn't see where they have them there. I'm guessing like by the jewelry or
They're
whatever.
probably not out near like the impulse.
No, I'm sure it's like under a locked cage or whatever. Because I saw like I walked by the jewelry and it's all in like, acrylic cases or whatever. You know what I did see there that I was like, oh, this is interesting. I should investigate further about this. They were selling packages, 2 Mets game tickets and $30 food voucher for $100.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's, probably like decent tickets. But,
and, so that's what, $35 a ticket?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
there
baseball, anyone?
I forgot about this, Tim, that there are stories of people there was a viral TikTok that showed a shopper being banned for using her husband's card. Staff revoked privileges immediately upon scan. And there are also stories of like people going in there and being like, oh shit, I forgot something in the car or whatever, and then just like not being able to get back in. I had to leave and come back because they had the carts outside the store. And I was I had to scan my card again. I couldn't be like, oh, you just saw me.
Right.
Like, scan.
Well, that's, it's just showing respect.
What else I want to talk about these. They're, do you know about these? They're membership and shopping hacks, Tim.
No, but I do want to point out, my TV is from Costco. Just...
Why did you want to point that out?
It's because I bought a TV at Costco.
Didn't you say your TV has like a dark spot that you can't get rid of or something?
Yeah, but that's not Costco's fault. It happened like
go bring
years
it back.
Oh shit!
It's only 90 days for things like TVs, but.
Well, now I'm just looking at the TVs on the Costco website.
Don't just look at the TV.
Well, I think I'm going to buy a new TV.
Need a new TV, but you can wait until the episode's over.
I'm going to forget.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead and order a TV right now. So like I did research for this episode after going to Costco that I wish I had done before.
Oh yeah, the hacks. All right.
The hacks.
I guess that's more important than me talking about some of my favorite purchases there, like my television.
Well, a few things here. So hacks to get in there if you don't have a card. I had read that you could, if you got a prescription sent there, you could go pick it up.
Yeah.
I tried that once years ago at the one in Brooklyn. Like there was a time where I didn't, after I was laid off from a job, I didn't have health care. So I was like, I don't know, I got sick or something and like everything, it was expensive. So I was like, all right, I'll go to Costco. And they didn't let me in. But I think, I don't know, I probably screwed something up. Or maybe that's just not true. Again, maybe that changed.
Yeah.
But there are other ways in. If you
should have brought your, magical member friend that you forget who it was.
Well, so members
It's a shame you forgot who that person was. They could have gotten you in to get your much-needed medicine.
Members can bring 2 non-members per visit.
Wow. Okay.
And I think a standard membership has 2 members.
I think so.
Yeah, because I know like me and my wife both got cards today.
Right, congrats.
Which I'll show you later. Don't worry. I didn't forget. So
the cards are very no frills too. I like it.
Yeah. Although there are also stories of travelers using their Costco cards as ID for the TSA.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem...
No, it seems... but apparently it sounds like people have been able to show their Costco card because it has your picture on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a, credit card or whatever in the same name.
Right.
And they'll take that as proof. Also, you're going to the airport to fly somewhere, bring identification. I don't think it's that hard to... Like, you brought your Costco card, but not your driver's license or a passport? Come on.
Yeah,
You stupid?
They're probably stupid.
Do
in
you
some
leave
way.
your house without ID?
No.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, let's not get into this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I always want that with me.
Yeah.
You know, with you know,
So you have to show your papers.
yeah. Or what if I get killed by a gorilla, and then they're like, well, we'll never know who this guy was. He ripped off his
No,
genitals
yeah.
and his head
Right.
and his hands.
Wow.
We've got nothing to go on.
Usually, the first way they try to identify a dead body by the genitals.
Genitals, yeah. All right. So the other way you can get in, you can use a loaded Costco cash card for entry and purchase.
Use a loaded gun.
Yeah. Well,
Flash
yeah.
that puppy.
All you have to do is open up your jacket and go.
Yeah.
See what I got there?
Yeah.
Why don't you step aside? No, if a Costco member buys somebody a gift card for Costco, that gift card will get them in as long as it has money on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they can reload it.
I don't know.
Probably
either.
not, because that seems like a loophole then.
Yeah.
Because it would be like, well, you don't need a membership. Just keep reloading this
Right.
card somebody gave you.
And honestly, Costco's hoping you're going in there with a gift card, like, oh, Aunt Sally got me this gift card, right? And then you're in there. And
You're
like,
spending more than that.
well, will they allow you to spend more than that? I was thinking you'd be like, oh, this place is great. I'll spend the $65. I'll come back here all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll come back here every day of my life, including Christmas Day.
I'm sure they've like run the numbers and found like, yeah, this is good. Most people that do this then either come in and buy a ton of shit. You know, they get a $50 card, but they spend $400, or they get a membership themselves.
Yeah. You know what I might have been thinking about earlier, Tom?
What's that?
Is that like you can get a like day pass to go in.
You can?
Like where it's like
From
you can't
how?
buy anything. Like it's like you get but it's I guess like
so
you can't
can,
just
like,
walk
tour
in.
it.
So you can do it, and then like that's when you can be like, all right, I'm in. Like I'm like this is amazing. Like I like the full.
That makes sense. That it's like they wouldn't sell a membership without the option to like see what they have.
So maybe we were both right, Tom.
Yeah. Well,
except for you lying about going with a person.
I bought things because I was with a Costco member at the time.
It just smacked.
I didn't just take a tour like a loser.
It smacked of the story of like, oh yeah, I get dough at a pizzeria all the time.
I never said I do it all the time, but I've done it before.
Yeah, but you don't remember when.
It was a long time ago. Like, I remember that it was a long time ago. I can't tell you the exact day. Anyway, the shopping hacks, Tim, about the prices, this is a thing I wish I knew going in there. I found this out from a website called Costco97.com.
Ooh.
Which sounds like a radio station, right? Sounds,
I thought it sounded like a cool, like, throwback TV show.
So this website specifically tracks items that end in a price that ends with 97 cents. So, you know, period 97.
Why is that?
That means it's a clearance markdown.
Ah.
So if something ends in 97, you know that that's a really good price. Like you're never going to find a better price than that.
Look at this 65-inch Sony Bravia 7 4K LED LCD TV.
And does it end with a 97?
Yeah, no, I'm on Costco97.com right now, Tom.
Okay.
It's marked down from $18.99 to freaking $9.99.
Wow.
And that's $18,000. No, $1,800.
Yeah, so it's almost half price.
Yeah.
I believe that also means that they are like not going to be carrying that anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's also like, hey, this is on clearance. We're not stocking this anymore, and it's cheaper than ever. But also things with a star on them indicate a discontinued item. So I guess maybe not necessarily on clearance, not necessarily on, a cheaper price, but this is discontinued.
It's your last chance, essentially.
Yeah, if you like it, get some
Yeah.
now. And then so I guess most things end in 99 cents. Things that end in 0 cents or 88 cents are special manager markdowns or last chance deals.
Interesting.
So yeah, and you know what? It's one of those things I wish I knew ahead of time, because there were some prices when I was in there that I was like, how come like this brand name is cheaper than the Kirkland brand? And I think in some of those cases, it may have been that kind of thing. Like, they're clearing this out.
Right.
They do high turnover. I guess that's already been mentioned. Oh, the food court, Tim. Let's talk about
we haven't
the
even
food
talked
court.
about if you raise the price of hot dogs, I'll kill you.
Who said that?
Wait, you don't know this?
No.
Man. Okay.
I know about the Costco guys and their friend the Rizzler. Do you know about them?
Oh, the Boom guys? I don't want
to. They review food on TikTok, Boom or Doom. But they also, I guess they review everything at Costco. Because it can't just be the food that they sell at the food stand, because there are very limited options there.
Right.
But explain the thing with the hot dogs.
So the founder, Jim Senegal.
Yeah.
Senegal.
And
the CEO, Greg Jelinek.
Okay.
We're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And the hot dog. What does a hot dog cost?
So they have
$1.50.
How much can a hot dog possibly cost? $100? Well, it's $1.50 for a hot dog and a soda.
Yeah. So this guy, Craig Jelinek, goes up to Jim Senegal, who is the founder, and he said, "Jim, we can't sell this hot dog." This is according to the CEO.
Okay.
I
And
came
do
to
you
him.
know when this was? Because this started in 1985, and they have not raised the price in 40 years now.
This is an anecdote he relayed in 2018.
Okay.
So I came to him once and said, "Jim, we can't sell this hot dog for $1.50. We are losing our rear ends." And he said, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." That's all I really needed. By the way, if you raised the price to $1.75, it would not be that big of a deal. People would still buy it. But the mindset is that when you think of Costco, you think of the $1.50 hot dog and soda.
Yeah.
What we figured out we could do was build our own hot dog manufacturing plant and make our own Kirkland signature hot dogs. Now we're doing so much hot dog business that we've opened up another plant.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, like, what does figure it out mean?
Well, I think it is like, all right, like this is going to be a loss leader, and like figure out a way to make it
not,
even though
big
like
of a
you
loss.
are, you're beholden to this 14 and 15% markup. Like that's interesting that like the prices are set.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's also crazy because their whole thing. I mean, I was going to say, I guess it's different in other places, but I feel like Costco's are busy all the time everywhere. Like that's why it's the third biggest retail. You're like, if you're the third biggest retailer in the world, you don't have locations that are sleepy,
Right.
Like I imagine they're also the kind of company that when they build a new one, they've done like extensive, like, modeling to show like this area can support Costco this big. We should build one here.
Man, there is a new Costco opening near my in-laws, or they're revamping the Costco,
and they're in a different state.
Yeah, it is the talk of the town there.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
If there was one opening in our town, that'd be the talk of the town.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the food court is like kind of, it's a loss leader, and they talk about like, oh, people come in for, the $1.50 hot dog, but then they spend more money on everything. I cannot imagine a reality where I would go to Costco with, I'm just going to get a hot dog and then I'm going to leave. Like, it's way too much of a commitment.
Yeah, but if it's also like, well, you and your situation, right? If it's like, hey, I'm going to go, like, I need to do my grocery shopping.
Right.
Should I go over to the Stop and Shop, or should I go 5 minutes past that to the Costco? And while I'm there, I'll pick up lunch, and it'll cost me $1.50.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's more, I guess that's still like convincing somebody to go
for
there.
Sure. Like, I think that's
I'm telling you, like, the whole time I was shopping, I was so excited about, like, and when it's all done, we're going to go in the food court, and I'm going to get some of this food that I heard the Costco guys talking about.
I always used to do my shopping before going back to college.
Yeah.
After the summer at Costco, buy a few things of
Yeah.
deodorant, buy
Yeah.
some soaps.
Yeah, you had to
toiletries.
You had to buy deodorant in bulk. You stank.
I go through deodorant like you go through toilet paper.
Using it on your butt.
Yeah, and that's why the bidet thing also confuses me. When do you apply the deodorant?
Yeah, before or after.
Yeah, it's all wet down there.
Yeah,
it's very confusing.
Do you like putting deodorant on if your armpits are wet?
No.
I need my armpits to be like a little bit wet. I feel like to
really
like, but not soaking wet. Because then it's like now everything.
It depends on how long I've let my armpit hair grow too.
Oh, you trim your armpit hair regularly?
Yeah.
You have like real long armpit hair?
Yeah, I mean it gets shaggy.
Yeah.
I
guess I trim mine a little bit in the summer, maybe.
Really? This is very interesting to me.
Yeah. I rarely have to trim my. I feel like my armpit hair used to be longer. I think it just naturally got shorter.
What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know. My eyebrows are getting longer. I think that's what happened. It's all attached.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, besides the hot dogs, they're also famous for. Well, this is not a food court item, but they're $4.99 rotisserie chickens.
Hell yeah.
Which is another thing that I remember reading an article about, that it was like they had to start up their own companies.
Chicken situation.
Yeah, because it was just like, I think they still lose money on every rotisserie chicken, but not as much as they were losing before.
A lot of chickens are killed.
It's true. Well, and also
so many chickens.
You think about, you're buying a rotisserie chicken for $5, and it's like, there's no way this costs like the entire time this thing was alive, it only cost $5 in like food and care.
And then not to mention like the killing and processing and like cooking.
Well, I think a lot of times they find people that would happily do it for free.
Maybe they make a little bit more because they actually. The people
they pay.
Costco gets paid.
No, you know what, Tim? Fortunately, I guess there aren't enough sickos in the world, because they sell 137 million chickens annually, and it costs, since 2015, it has cost Costco $30 to $40 million in losses annually. Switching to bags in 2024 from like plastic containers added another $385 million annual loss. That feels like too much.
Yeah.
Maybe that's wrong.
I can hook him up with a bag supplier that'll save him some money.
Yeah. But I saw, because I didn't see where the rotisserie chickens even were today, but I saw a guy carrying one with a big smile on his face. They also had, this is like a little disgusting, I guess, but they had bags of like just pulled
human hands,
hand pulled rotisserie chicken meat, just like all in a like vacuum sealed,
Yeah.
5-pound block.
All right.
And I was kind of like, shit, should I get that? That'd probably be like all I'd eat. It would be fine.
How
It's
much?
already
How
cooked.
much was it?
It was like $13.
That's crazy. That's lunch for like
For
3
years.
weeks. Yeah.
Chickens act as traffic magnets, attracting shoppers who, on average, spend $400 per visit. We spent, I think, like $350 on this visit.
What did you buy? Let's see your haul.
I'll show you the haul. Well, I can tell you some of the stuff.
Did you buy a television?
No.
Oh, did you know my TV came from Costco?
No, and actually, I left there like happy with myself. Like, okay, we didn't buy shit we don't like. We didn't impulse buy stuff.
Right. Oh, see. Well, you know the whole like treasure hunt thing, right? They're always like rearranging stuff. So like,
so you can't.
So like they want you to stumble upon like, oh, Costco has it. Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, we definitely got some stuff that we didn't go in there thinking, but a lot of it was kind of like, oh, like I just bought this yogurt at the store the other day. And it was this much money, and here's like a 15-pack that's $12.
Right.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to buy that. I didn't come in here thinking that because I didn't really know they would have this. And that would be that good of a price. So there was like a lot of that kind of stuff. But
so I understand you got yogurt, you got toilet paper, you got paper towels,
cashews.
All right. How many? How many cashews did you buy?
A lot. I think it's maybe like a 5-pound bag, maybe not
like
5
a 6,000 cashew bag.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I did buy a lot of uncooked chicken breasts.
Freezing those up.
Yeah, because they sell chicken breasts that like I don't know comes in something that kind of looks like a Kevlar vest, where it's just like a big plastic thing because they're all individually sealed, which is great because then you can freeze them and just cut them apart. So yeah, I got one of those. Oh man, I got this huge block. I'll show you this on your way out. They have Kerrygold Dubliner cheddar cheese.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's some of the stuff.
It's about $350.
10-pack of Brita water filters.
I always buy water filters, and then like I always forget I have them, and then I'm always like, I've bought 3 individual packages since then because I forgot that I had 9 more under my. So a word of caution, Tom. Every morning, wake up, make the first thing you think, I got a whole bunch of water filters.
Well, I mean, it's a 10-pack, so like it's going to be, hard to hide.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the biggest ticket items because I think that was $50.
Huh. All right.
Just still like a lot cheaper. I think they're probably like $13 if you buy them one at a time.
You know what I got, Tom? Did I tell you this? I got this like water filter. I don't need a Brita filter. I'm filtering it at the tap.
Wow. Well, save it for next time.
Some really, really mean Russian guy was putting it in and yelled at me about it.
They sell Kirkland brand liquor, but I actually didn't see, like I didn't go over by the, actually I don't know. Maybe they don't in New York. Because like supermarkets can't sell liquor in New York. Like you need a liquor store license. Because like I saw the beer and I didn't really go near it because I was like, I don't need to buy like a 36-pack of beer. They sell coffins, but that's just online.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Everybody got on the band Kiss for selling that Kiss coffin. Remember that? That'd be cool. I'd like to be buried in one. They're
expensive, I think.
That's okay. I'm worth it.
You know what? Well, I'll do the plugs and I have one more interesting fact about Costco. Cool. You can find out more about the show at tcgte.com. You can find our social media links, our Reddit, our Discord, and our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide, where you get a bonus weekly episode. This week, it's Fast Food Friday. We're going over all the fast food news you choose to chew for April 2025.
Yeah.
A lot
Even though it's May now. We're recapping
We're
April.
recapping. Were we going to tell you the news before it happened?
Yeah, what is this, an episode of Early Edition?
Patreon.com/complete guide. You can find that. And
we should try to do that.
A whole hell of a lot more. Tim.
All for only $50 a month.
Tim.
It's just $5.
Do you know... you know what? Maybe I have 2 interesting facts for you here. Or maybe I have 3. The smallest...
Choose one.
I
want to hear out there. I was just kidding.
All right. The smallest store, 76,000 square feet in Juneau, Alaska. The largest, 235,000 square feet in Salt Lake City.
Huh.
That's a big, that's like almost 4 times bigger.
Yeah, I feel like in Alaska, too, you got all this wide open space. What are you
hell?
doing? Yeah.
Probably a lot. I was going to joke, well, it costs a lot to heat it. That probably is one of the reasons. Another one, top sales location is in Oahu, Hawaii. It was the first store to top 500 million in annual sales, despite Hawaii's smaller population. And I think similarly here, can you guess which country has the highest membership of
like per capita?
Per capita.
I'm gonna say Canada.
Not a million miles away. Iceland.
Huh.
75% of households in Iceland have a Costco card after locals used to charter planes for Costco goods.
Wow.
Because, they're far from everything.
Right. You want to, yeah.
And, Costco found out that, like, people from Iceland were chartering planes and they were like, oh, we'll go build one in Iceland. And they were like, great.
Why didn't you guys just ask?
Every household will buy a membership and go here.
We will shun the ones who don't.
Yeah. I'm guessing just because it's much, much cheaper, because Iceland's not super remote, but, a little remote. Everything you got to ship or fly, put on a ship or fly there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you think about it, isn't that the case with everything?
No, because you got roads.
You got roads in Iceland?
Yeah, but you can't drive shit to Iceland from other places.
Yeah, but you can't... But they can make things there.
Yeah, but I don't think they make a ton of things.
Right. Okay.
Like the produce it has to be flown in. Right, it can't be driven in.
Right.
Unless it knows somebody that has a membership, then it can tag along with them.
But, 10 years later, they'll have no recollection of who it was.
More than 10 years. All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.